Hello, I'm Congressman Darren Soto, and I'm proud to represent Florida's 9th Congressional District. Over these last 2 years, we've done so much to help out both with securing funding and passing laws to improve our quality of life here in Central Florida. We're thrilled to be here right at East Lake Tehoppa-Caliga in St. Cloud, Florida, where you can see some of the major lake restoration projects taking shape. The water here is clearer now thanks to a project we worked on with the Army Corps of Engineers and the city. Kids can now play at the local beach. We even are able to see better fishing coming back in native flora. We're also working to restore Big Lake Tehoppa-Caliga as part of the Northern Everglades region. We already secured $164 million in budget authorization and now are working on the funding to get design work. These are iconic lakes that are a critical part of our way of life here in Central Florida. In addition, we were able to pass the laws to make sure we can make the Kissimmee River a wild and scenic river, also part of this great Kissimmee Lake chain, and to protect our reefs across Florida in the bipartisan Restoring Resilient Reefs Act. In addition, we've worked so closely with President Biden and with Vice President Harris to help our veterans. We're proud to have the Lake Nona facility and do casework each day to help out our local veterans. We recently had passed the PACT Act and now have seen over 1 million veterans who came home from the Gulf War, the war in Afghanistan, Iraq, and the global war on terror generally receive benefits. Those who suffered from burn pits and Marines who were hurt from Camp Lejeune. We also have been working on major affordable housing projects. Through the American Rescue Plan, we secured over $50 million for the City of Orlando to do their affordable housing plan. We're also working with the City of Kissimmee, with St. Cloud, with nonprofits like the Hope Center and the Salvation Army to continue to help with folks who are home insecure around here. We know Central Florida is a popular place and more people are moving here. We need to make sure we're continuing to have affordable options for longtime families and for young people who want to be part of the American dream. We've also worked very closely on healthcare. Did you know that we have the second most folks enrolled in Obamacare in the nation? With over 4.2 million Floridians getting their private healthcare on the Affordable Care Act exchange, we're going to continue to work on key issues like in the ACA Enhancement Act, where we made the costs more affordable, and expanding the pool of folks eligible after Medicaid was wound down after the pandemic. We're going to continue to make sure we have access to health care. Through the Inflation Reduction Act, we're lowering health care costs for seniors, especially in prescription drugs, by capping it at $2,000 next year for out-of-pocket expenses. We saw insulin go down to $35 a month. We saw that hearing aids are now over the counter, and we've seen as well so many other things like inhalers go down to $35 a month. We're going to continue to work on reducing the cost of healthcare for all Americans. Gun violence is something that continues to be near and dear to our heart. We saw right near the district the Pulse nightclub shooting so many years ago, and we're committed to continuing to reduce gun violence. We passed the Safer Communities Act to draw down funds to help combat gun violence and to create programs in our schools and among law enforcement to help reduce gun violence, as well as to support red flag laws that take away guns from folks who are a danger to themselves and to others. We know in Central Florida, transportation is a really big deal. How many commuters do we have going on I-4 in the morning, Sunrail, and all these other areas? Well, I got great news for you. We passed the largest infrastructure law in over 50 years. And so there's now $3.5 billion we helped get to expand I-4 from the 528 all the way down to 27, to expand Point Santa Parkway up to I-4, funding over $300 million for the airport, for Terminal C, and now we're working on a Bright Line Sunrail expansion as well. We also secured millions for links for new buses. As a small business owner, I also am proud of the work we're doing to help small businesses across the district. We saw during the pandemic, there was a great fear that we'd lose thousands of small businesses like we saw during the Great Recession. But we came together in a bipartisan fashion to pass the Paycheck Protection Program, to bring millions back to keep small businesses open and Central Floridians employed. We're also working to increase the amount of SBA loans so that we could keep up with costs with small businesses. We're going to continue to have seminars and bringing down folks like SBA Administrator Guzman to talk about how we can improve the local economy. We also are proud of the work we're doing for both food security and for agriculture. I'm proud to represent ranching country, citrus, blueberry and strawberry country, and to make sure that every family in Central Florida has access to healthy, quality food. That's why I fought to get back on the Ag Committee this year, and we're working to bring a bipartisan farm bill in for a landing to make sure that we're continuing agriculture and access to healthy food for now and for future generations. Recently, we saw the Supreme Court strike down Roe v. Wade. I completely disagree with this decision. We're going to do everything we can to protect reproductive rights, a right that stood for 50 years in America for women in Central Florida and across the nation. I was proud to vote for the Women's Health Protection Act and will continue to work as we see you as Floridians will get the right to vote on a reproductive freedom ballot initiative this November. We're also going to work in the budget and otherwise to stop anti-choice provisions from getting into the Appropriations Act. We're so proud of the work we're doing to help create more higher paying jobs here in Central Florida. We know how critical it is to continue to advance our economy. So I'm proud of the work we're doing, first to help out in Neo City. We brought back over $500 million in CHIPS Act and related funding to help boost microchip manufacturing for aerospace and space, growing more advanced manufacturing, high-paying jobs right here in Osceola County. We're also working for more clean energy jobs. We see Green Garden Village coming up in Point Siena, a $430+ million advanced manufacturing project to make solar panels, EV batteries, and EV charging stations. We're proud of the work that the infrastructure is doing to create jobs, both rebuilding I-4 and the airport, also expanding Sunrail and Brightline, as well as Point Siena Parkway, among other areas. And we're proud of the green energy jobs that we're working on with Florida Power and Light in South Osceola, where we're about to have the largest solar plant in North America, nearly 30,000 acres. Those are jobs that are higher paying. They're going to help folks pursue the American dream and also be great for our environment and combat climate change. Thank you all so much for the faith you've invested in both me and our office to serve Central Florida. We're proud of the work we're doing to help improve our quality of life, and we look forward to continuing to do that work in the future. Thank you.